That was it. Last time you'll hear it in this Mustang. The day has come, kids. I have to admit, I'm a little sad. Not quite a tear in my eye, but almost. I really like this car and the noise that it makes, but let's face it, we didn't buy it for this car. We bought it for that car. Oliver sitting over there. Therefore, the engine transmission is going to come out of this thing today. I'm also going to pull the exhaust just to make it easy to get things out of here. I don't think any of this is going to be all that difficult. At the end of the day, we're going to have a naked Mustang. Let's do this. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not sure how much how-to information is going to be gleaned from this video. This car is obviously custom. It's been around since 1982, and I'd say it's been passed around quite a bit. I'm probably going to run into some difficulty along the way, so there'll be some educational value there, but for me, this is all entertainment, and I hope you see it the same way. So let's enjoy it for what it is, shall we? Step 1, disconnect the battery. See a battery anywhere? Oh yeah, it's in the back. What's back there, you say? That is all my new suspension parts. There's my new tubular K-member. Here's all the suspension parts, a manual steering rack. Good place to store parts as any, I think. But all these goodies, rear lower control arms, coil springs all the way around. I've got front struts, I'm gonna have to get rear shocks. That's the only thing I'm gonna have to get, but new stabilizer bars front and back. I'm not gonna need to get much, but there it is, the suspension. Let go my ego. Eric spends half the video getting the battery terminal off the battery. Yes, I know prying against the top of the battery is not a good idea, but not really leaving me much of a choice. Mine. Safety first. If only I could see. That's good enough, I guess. There's all different size bolts here. Just grab any old bolt. I'm really not concerned about the finish. You might be, but I'm not. Whoops. Shut up. I hear you yelling at me already. It looks better all scratched up. It's a war machine. Let's drain the fluids. Yeah, that's the fuel line. Oh, I'm glad we're starting over with you. For those of you that watched the introductory video, I cleverly cut out this part because I saw that the bolts that hold the transmission in place weren't there. So that will make it that much easier to get out. This oil pan has 2 sumps because of the bump in the middle. I haven't changed the oil since I got it. Why? Some chunky things. I wonder what we'll find when we open it up. While this front one's draining, I'm gonna see what I can do to drop the exhaust. Maybe those engine mounts will come out like real easy. If it's just the one bolt, man, that'll be darn convenient. These were loose when I first got this. And they loosened up again. Wow. What are the chances of having 2 of the same size fasteners? What are the odds? Might as well. Who thinks the other side's going to be the same size? If you did, you would have lost. All I have to do is put this thing on here and pull the trigger. Throw some stuff on the floor and we're good. Well, they'll just stand together at least. No wonder this thing kept coming loose. It's only held on by 2 spots. Once at the headers and once back here. That's it. Well, guess it is held on back here. Oh. Well, that was creative, but if we get too happy, we'll have a gas tank on our heads. Suppose we should put those back in. Should be free. Would have been so nice if they'd have like flanged it, like right here. That way if you ever needed to service the transmission, you could just take this section out, make it real easy. But I believe it all got welded into place. And I don't want to take a Sawzall to it. It sounds too nice. I mean, these mufflers are like the Stradivarius of exhaust. Love the way they sound. Well, there goes my dream of it going easy. But you knew that would happen. You just knew it. This is the Eric the Car Guy show. It can't be easy. What would be the fun in that?
How'd they get it in there?
They welded it into place. So they got this piece up in, and then they welded the mufflers on in the back section is how they did it. So it was a one-time shot. Here you go, nothing. One pipe. There we have it. Huh. Leaky welds. Right there would be a Mustang exhaust system. Yep. It's a lot easier to get to this transmission now. And everything else for that matter. Some of you may be disappointed I didn't take this to the track to find out what kind of time it could do. I think you're seeing part of the reason why. There's a whole lot missing here. Pushing this at the track doesn't really appeal to me. If I'm gonna guess, I'd say probably ran somewhere in the 14s, maybe 13s, but wasn't all that great, so it will be better when I'm done with it. Transmission also needs emptying. Looks like it's just straight up 3/8. I'm going to remove the fill plug as well as the drain plug. That helps it drain so much better. Not a good sign when you can just unthread it by hand. Okay. Looks like it's dripping out up there, so I guess that would mean that it's filled. If I'm not mistaken, the T5 takes automatic transmission fluid. Oh, yuck. Gross. Maybe it's some special racing fluid or something. But as I said, I thought it takes automatic transmission fluid. I should have put it in neutral. Should have done a lot of things. That way we could spin the drive shaft, but I don't think it'll be too much of a hassle. I've got to admit, the lift makes everything easier. If I was trying to take that exhaust out on the ground, are you kidding me? That would have been no fun at all. Ooh. This rear suspension looks like it was coming right up through the floor. Why does it look like this drive shaft's been shortened? I've had a few people tell me that the drive shaft out of a rear-wheel drive Ford Explorer will work for my Fairmont, and it's aluminum. And I'm wondering if this might have been one of those and then got shortened up. Go in here. Makes me wonder. Oh, it's so light. Seriously, it weighs nothing. It's a big old hollow tube. Oh, sure, you want to leak out the back now? Even after I drained you? So I can find them later. Well, you just want to make messes, don't you? I'm going to call you puddles. Speedo cable. I was half expecting to find some really screwed up teeth here because the Speedo didn't work. I suppose it really doesn't matter. Reverse light switch isn't hooked up. That would explain why we don't have those. Clutch cable next, I guess. Don't want to lose stuff because we'll be harvesting it. I'm sure we'll be back to this car to grab parts now and again. There's not a whole lot more underneath here. I'm just gonna take that power steering pump off, lay it down over on the side. But I guess I'm gonna take loose these engine mounts, and also there's gonna be some sort of electrical connection going to the starter. Starter's got a banky on it. Simple enough. I know I haven't mentioned this already, but I do plan to pull the engine and transmission out together as one thing. It's okay, I can't even see what I'm doing. I'm removing the starter cable from an area that you can't see, I can't see, we all can't see. But really, this starter cable is one of the very few electrical connections on this car. Something to be said for simplicity in your race car. The more complex it gets, the more opportunities there are for things to go wrong. Yeah, I don't know how this thing ever passed tech and got onto a racetrack. I really don't. That cable will be disconnected. And there was much rejoicing. Yay. Working our way around the front, a couple of ground connections. Stop yelling at me for using a non-impact socket for impact reasons. Gonna do it again over here. That was barely on there. Everything I'm finding is telling me I'm probably wise to take this off the road. Because a car that's held together with baling wire isn't exactly what you want to be driving at speed. But you know what? It was adventurous and fun. This is for the oil pressure gauge inside the car, which it did work. It did have good oil pressure. I am real happy to see that. Although I'm not a fan of these types of oil pressure sensors, because I don't like having this plastic line with the ability to break or get a hole in it. I like electronic better. If that fails, so what? If this fails, it'll spray oil all over the inside of your car. I need to drain the radiator, obviously, and I'm going to do that while I'm removing the shifter, which I need to get inside the car to do. I've just noticed the drain for the radiator is not looking so good, so I'm just going to remove the lower radiator hose and use that to drain it, which is over on the other side, and I'll be pulling that radiator completely out of the car before I pull the engine. I'm loving these beta tools, that is. They're perfect for this stuff. Quick and efficient that was. Might as well take this upper hose off. See how cool I am? I can just reach in here. I can literally get to this upper radiator or lower radiator hose clamp. I'm so cool. And this will drain it out for reals. Speed tape. I'm just going to take the radiator out now. I don't think I'll be using this radiator again. Or, I don't think I'll be using this radiator fan again, I should say. I might send this off to the radiator shop to have them look it over before I put it in. But this is a nice radiator. All right. This might go easy. I'm wondering if I just take the shift lever off, because the top of the transmission can come off and this whole thing can come out and it can actually make it easier, but I've got plenty of room. So I might just remove this part of the shifter, this upper part, and just leave this lower part in here rather than trying to pull the whole assembly out. And that way it'll keep the top of the transmission sealed and it'll save me some time. I think I can make that clear. I don't think I'm going to have to go farther than that. New plan. I'm gonna remove this brace while it's up in the air, and I figure it's just gonna be easier to get these fasteners off now. Funny thing is this one wasn't even tight. I didn't even have to put a ratchet on it. So that nut covers that side. I'm gonna leave the bolts going through. When it's down, I'm gonna come underneath here with a floor jack, lift up on the back of the transmission, which will take the tension off these bolts. I'll just pull these bolts out, and this whole support back here will come out. I'll be able to get this transmission out easy. My clutch cable. I'm going to take the carburetor right on off of there. I think I'm just going to move that guy out of the way. When you're taking things like engines out, it's just good to have stuff out of the way. Some interesting wiring here. Worked. Started up, it ran. Coolant temp. So why'd you take the carburetor off, Eric? That's why. But this is what we're going to use to pull the engine. I bought this many years ago, and this is my first time using it. I found some washers. I think those will work fine. Now the only potential problem I see bringing this out of here is this steering shaft coming into contact with that header. I could take the header off, or I could just remove this one bolt for the steering shaft, just take it off there for the moment, and slide it out of the way until I get the engine out. It occurs to me this may be easier to access from underneath. At least I hope this slides out of here. If not, there's a think of something else. It's not sliding out of there. We'll just be really careful when removing it because we don't need that steering shaft or anything. So we'll just do what we can to sneak past it. Heck with it. So what's next? Well, the power steering pump's really the only thing that's still connected, and that's not coming with. So we're just going to remove the belt, power steering pump, and yeah, see what happens. Yeah, I'm finding more uses for this beta stuff. Like throwing it on the ground. Time for the floor jack in the back. Pull those pins out of that support. Get this thing up. Check out my new Sunex low profile floor jack. 6602 LP. Oh, well, that's cool. It's on a sliding kind of deal. At least this side is. You put it where you want it. Just realized something. There's no give to this, which is good in one sense, I suppose, but as far as hooking this up, this particular thing up, it's kind of a limitation. So what I'm going to have to do is take this plate off, put it on here, on the hook, and then set it back down on there and tighten it up. So thought of another solution that might be quicker. And if this is something I'm going to have to do often, I say, as a design upgrade, stick another pin over here like you got everywhere else. All right. Let's let that jack down, which is going to make a puddle. Hopefully that shifter goes away. Watch the shifter, kids. The jack's not under it anymore. There we go. Just cleared that steering shaft. More than one way to go with this. Yeah, it should be nicer. I really should. But she was always just a vessel. Ooh, this is a photograph I've got to take. She just voided her bladder. Really? Can't take you anywhere. Let's throw some Jaxx Zorb down and go to lunch. I figure we'll do a little cleanup before we go further. I'll put a link to this stuff in the description. It's called Jaxx Zorb. I did a review on it not long ago. Was very impressed. It's very good at picking stuff up. As you can see, the floor is dry. Really like this stuff. Let's get the transmission off of the engine, get the headers off, get this on the stand so we can admire it. Also my new Sun-X engine stand. We'll get back to you in a minute. And now we play, what size are you? And you are 5/8. Dual pumping action is cool. I have not removed anything, but this is how this came out. So if you're wondering why I wasn't taking that to the track, well, think about that. The engine wasn't even fully in. Should be easier to get the stuff now. I guess it's a sign of the times when we have a Chinese starter on our American V8. It's new-ish. Now I know it's going to be a while between now and when this thing goes into the Fairmont, and things will change in the interim, but still want to try to keep things organized. I don't like it when metal comes out with the bolts. Ooh. And there we have a transmission. And another either broken or loose bolt. That's a lot of wobbling. I hope I'm able to salvage this transmission. I really do. That's for another video. Okay, fine, I put them on, forgot. Something tells me I'm going to be spending a lot of time with a tap and die set on this build. Hope I don't have to buy all new parts. That would be very unfortunate. That is one crusty bell housing. Eesh. And now the clutch. We'll try 1/2 inch, but it's not quite that. It's not quite a 13. And it's working. Sort of. 12 millimeter it is. That's heavy clutch. Still mostly there. Yeah, well, we'll probably be putting a clutch in this. flywheel, and more pee from the engine. That rear main looks nuts. It also looks like this oil pan gasket never got in there properly. I'm going to try to do that in the car or something. I just got some coolant on Brian. He's not happy. Before I put it on the engine stand, I'm going to take the headers off, and probably the engine mounts, and then it'll go to the stand, and there it will live for the teardown, which will be in another video. And for this, I'll use these because they're kind of awesome. Once again, my beta tools. And this is kind of crammed in here too. Heck with it. Maybe it's supposed to have larger ones on the outside. I don't know. Oh, these are light. Very light. It's not cast iron, that's for sure. These are called shorty headers because they're short. Long tube headers come down farther. One is better for bottom end torque and the other is better for top end, and I can't remember which is which. I try to work smart. Try. Can you believe this? This left side engine mount wasn't even in there. Just taking it off by hand. Just laying in there. Wouldn't be long and the whole thing would just be out of there. I think we might be using some different engine mounts. Have to look into that. They don't look bad. They don't look bad. The other one, the stud was cheesed up. This is an accident waiting to happen. So I think we'll just nip this in the bud. This is cool. Just to be able to do that. That's cool. I like that. Now we must do the mating. Must bring these two together. This does real nice. Went and got some 7/16 bolts, coarse thread. These are about 4 inches long, I believe. Yeah, they'll be about perfect. I'm gonna go get my washers. This presents a problem. Okay, easy enough. Now, let's do this. Oh, it's loud. Do I have any like rusty hinge spray? How much this will help, I don't know. It's this dry lubricant for lubricating like door hinges and stuff. Much better. Isn't that a lot easier to try and do this? But I'm trying to figure out how to do this, because like, it's almost there. It's resting on there now, precariously at that. But here's my thought. I'm gonna get the hook off. I'm gonna hook it in here and lift up this part so I can slide it back on the rest of the way. Yeah, I'm thinking this should be like a locking pin that you can take in and take out. Okay, it's officially on there. Should have put the pin on, I guess. All right. There. Now we won't scare our cameraman.
Scared the crap out of me.
All right, peeps, it's out here on the stand. Transmission's out. Well, all right then. We are moving forward. The engine transmission has been removed. So hopefully the engine was built by somebody other than the person that installed it. We will continue the saga in another video. We'll be tearing this down. We'll be tearing the transmission down. We'll be rebuilding both before they go in the Fairmont. All kinds of fun we will have. Anyway, thank you for watching. I post repair type videos on Friday, so stop back and see me then. If you have automotive questions, I ask you head over to EricTheCarGuy.com. Welcome video there to tell you about the stuff we have to help you. If you wish to connect with me socially, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, also Instagram. Links down below for that. And by the way, you get previews of this kind of stuff if you follow me on those social networks. Close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, stay dirty. Look forward to seeing you next time.